Oh. Well, things are happening.
Live from the Wandering Emporium of Avernus, this is Dragon Friends.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
All the way from Australia. We are a Australian podcast where comedians play Dungeons and Dragons, who mean the best and want nothing but what is good for the event, but still secretly fear that they have no business being here. Is that fair?
Yeah. That's absolutely true.
We're sort of waiting to get hauled away by security,
Or a cease and desist from Wizards of the Coast, but they haven't sent us one yet,
and that's
so
why
we are
I
live.
handcuffed myself to the table.
Yeah.
Why don't we start? I'm David Harmon, I'm the Dungeon Master of Dragon Friends, but why don't we start for anyone that hasn't seen the show by going around and giving our name and explaining who our characters are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Great. Hello, my name's Alex Lee. I play Filge, the half-orc barbarian with a heart of gold.
My name's Ben Jenkins. I play most of the NPCs.
Fun fact, me and Ben normally sit together when we do this show. We can't today because the Dungeon Master has to sit here. Ben was put there because that's what the lower third says.
Yeah.
So what's our secret signal if we're not happy with where we're
If
going?
things are going wrong, my
It's
secret
like,
signal. Yeah, well, I was going to say it's to scream very loudly and leap through this plate glass window.
Out of the window, yeah.
So if I do that, you'll know that something is awry.
Excellent.
Stay tuned to Channel 3 for Ben screaming later. In the meantime, I'm Aidan Lacey. I'll be playing Baston Indrirovich, the handsome man and fighter monk. And he's really min-maxed in that way. It's possibly the least efficient character build you can have that I've gone for today.
I'm Simon Griner. I play Bobby Pancakes, the halfling rogue. Traffic on the nines. Let's kick this off, Dave.
All right, we're ready to play Dungeons and Dragons. You're all level 7, which is where we currently are, but this is a one-shot. So any Dragon Friends fans, if there are any lit watching, this doesn't count.
Non-canonical.
Non-canonical.
Nanan.
Can I have wings?
Do you want wings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Give me
Okay.
a big gun.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Splitting pain, stifling heat, and the sound of a sharp knock.
Ooh.
So it ends like this, alone, imprisoned in the clattering dark. It's hard to recall how the Dragon Friends have been lost on it. I'm doing fine. How are
Classic-
you?
Great,
classic
Dave.
Dave.
You reckon?
Let it out of the. Oh no.
It is hard to recall how long the Dragon Friends have been lost on Avernus, that blasted perpetual war zone that forms the first of the 9 circles of hell. With no moon, no sun, and nothing but the dull glare of the fires of the damned, time loses all meaning. This is a cursed place, one where the massed armies of the abyss wage never ending against all the devils of hell. It has taken all of you, all that you have, just to survive in this wretched place without losing hope, but at last, it seems, you have lost your freedom. Taken by a surprise ambush while trying to cross one of the many dark trails of the circle. They fell upon you in darkness at night before you could move and clubbed you into unconsciousness. So to be clear, you have been wandering that desert that drives men and women mad for some time before this adventure starts. You, like Max,
We suppose.
Yeah.
So this is a welcome respite, being in an inside
Yeah.
enclosed area.
Oh,
Well,
beautiful.
You haven't been wandering the desert like somebody looking for water. It's the Badlands. You've been operating, your own thing. Maybe you've been, I don't know, bounty hunting or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, there are parties of adventurers that crisscross the hells. They don't last for long. Eventually they are killed or imprisoned, and it seems that the latter has happened to you. And now, as the throbbing pain in your head recedes, you wake to find yourselves imprisoned together in a small, cramped cell, manacled and chained on a short lead to a deadbolt in the wall behind you. The sloping walls of the cell form a cylinder like the end of a pipe, and beyond the mouth of that pipe, you can see flickering lights shaking jerkily in dark, polluted air. The cell itself rumbles constantly, and far away you can hear the roar of mighty beasts or powerful engines, over which you can also hear the plaintive cries of other prisoners. This is a bad place to be, a place that tests the limits
I
of
don't want to interrupt your flow.
Did I say plaintive?
No, but what I'd like to know is, would you like me to provide some of those whales that the other
yes,
prisoners
please,
are
Ben.
just
Yes,
for
that
Atmos?
would really get me in.
I love
think-
that.
I worry if you do that, you're going. What I'm worried here is that you're going to subtly undercut the pathos that I'm trying to build here.
Yeah. Do you want to just risk it?
Yeah, let's just try it. But just
Okay.
just so
Maybe
you
we
know,
could do make it do
this
a
is a
sound.
big.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
me and we. Okay,
Oh,
we
okay.
can.
That's
okay,
fine.
yeah.
I just want you to understand this is kind of a big deal for
Sure,
me.
sure,
kind of
sure.
a big deal for all
Yep,
of us.
yep,
And if
You
you
don't want to undercut.
We don't want the,
All right,
the
okay.
last thing we would want to do.
So plaintive whales.
Plaintive whales.
Yeah, okay, so-
Whales, plenty of
okay.
whales.
The cell itself rumbles.
Oh, no, this is the worst.
And far away, you can hear the roar of
my
the
God.
entrance, over which you can no longer hear the feeble moans of other prisoners.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is a bad place to be.
Too
a place,
powerful?
I was an orca.
a place that tests the limits of even the faithful, though faith has no place in hell. You hear that knocking sound again. It is coming from the sloping roof of your cell.
Come in.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wipe your feet before entering, please.
Again, you were chained in a line to a deadbolt in the back of the pipe. You can't actually get all the way out, but
Oh,
you could
who
get
is
to,
it?
You could get to the lip of the pipe.
We all go to the lip of the pipe together.
No, only one of you can. Whoever's chained at the front. You're
Okay.
chained at intervals down the chain.
Oh, well,
Are
I'm.
you picturing this right? You're like in a hole. You're like in a
Yeah.
sideways hole.
Yeah, sideways hole.
Oh,
In
in
many
a
ways, a
pipe.
pipe is a sideways hole.
Yeah. When it's closed up.
So
and
the
then-
sideways hole, there's the door's at one end of the hole.
Yeah.
Since we have 90 minutes.
Dave, I am going
What
to
is
pull.
a pipe?
I am going to pull the chain out of the wall.
Well, I'm just actually going to randomly work out who
Using
is
my
at the
s-
front of it, and I'm afraid to say it is Filge.
Phil's at the front.
All right.
Baston at the back. Little manwich in the middle.
And how big is this hole at the,
It's
lip of the
I would
thing?
say it is about 3 feet by 3 feet. It's really cramped.
So Filge can fit through.
That's quite big.
Yeah, yeah.
shoulders?
It's no.
It's probably the circumference of Filge. Probably exactly the circumference of Filge.
It's actually like, for instance, hard for you to have a conversation with the person at the back of the chains.
Sure.
It's not a comfortable place. But Filge, you can actually get to the lip.
All right, I get to the lip and I say, hello.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
As you
I'm
peer-
just trying on a new voice. in
As you
hell.
peer up, you can, first of all, you notice a honeycomb of these cells dot a
Delicious.
large wall. So each of them presumably holding more prisoners, and staring down at you in a filthy, ragged jerkin with sort of wild look in his eyes and yet surprisingly well coiffured hair is
Oh.
a figure of another adventurer.
Wakey, 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 he says.
Me already awake.
Yeah, I know. I was sort of saying now you're awake.
Me already awake before me was just lying there thinking about, secret things.
Hang on, I was knocking for about an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Oh, me thought that was just my thoughts. Knocking on the old skull.
Can you make for me an insight check? We got the level up dice. Level up
Oh, yeah.
dice helped us get out here. We're from Australia. We're a long
Heavy.
way away. So
Thanks a
thank
lot,
you very
guys.
much.
Oh,
for that.
that's satisfying.
And we have these aluminium dimetric dice, which absolutely rule.
And we have a dice of inspiration that weighs literally about 100 pounds.
What's What'd you get?
I
That's a
rolled
critical.
a critical.
Yes.
Level up dice, roll 20 every time.
And then we stop for a 30-second ad. Congratulations. So you, with a canny insight, Filge, you look at him and you work out a couple of things. This is obviously a fellow adventurer.
Yep.
You believe you can trust him, and that's important because most of the humans, orcs, tieflings that wander Avernus have long since succumbed to evil. There are people like you in this world, but they all turn evil in the end. But you feel there is still innate goodness, but it is masked behind a mind that is close to snapping, and you realize that this guy seems to be intelligent, good, and brought right up to the edge.
I feel like you're describing yourself a bit there, Dave.
Sometimes.
And what else can I see? Is he a human?
Also, well, because you rolled 20, yeah, he's a human. You think he's probably a fighter. Obviously, he has no weapons on him. He looks malnourished, but you can see old residual strength in his arms. And also, beyond him, you can see the chain is slack, and the other figures in his pipe are not moving. They're sort of collapsed on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Boy, am I glad to see you. My name's Bracken.
Hello, Bracken. Me, Filge.
Filge, lovely to meet you. And he sticks out a hand and sees if he can...
And I'll try and stick my hand up to shake it.
Can we reach, Dave?
No, you aren't able to reach each other. There is about this much distance between the edges of your fingertips.
Well, you get what I'm trying to do.
Dave,
Yeah.
have I pulled the chain out of the wall yet?
No.
I have 17 strength. No, 16.
Have you been trying to pull the chain
Yeah,
out
I'm
of the
doing
wall?
it right now. You want me to roll?
Yeah, sure.
Gonna pull it straight out of the wall.
Totally. Okay, great.
1.
That
I
is
rolled a 1. I
That
rolled an
is a
actual
literal
1.
Okay,
One.
you,
A literal
you
one.
pull so feebly that the dungeon master does not notice you were trying to pull the chain out of the wall.
Okay. All right. Well, that's that.
Hey, look, I don't want to be too forward here, having just met, but Phil, you seem great. Hey, who's in there with you?
Oh, just me best friends in hell. Baston.
Uh-huh.
He the guy who is all tangled up in chains right now, whimpering. And over there's little Bobby Pancakes.
Bobby Pancakes. These guys sound really great. Can I ask you a personal question, perhaps?
What about your friends? They were having a sleep?
Hey, look, we're going to come to that in a bit. Do any of you in there know your way around a set of lockpicks by any small chance?
I pipe up at the back with like, that me, I that.
Yeah, that
Oh,
Bobby-
hi, is that Baston or Bobby?
That's Bobby, hi.
Hey, Bobby, nice to meet you. Bracken.
Bracken, Bobby.
Nice, yeah. Hey, how's this for an idea? Look, I'll level with you. I have a set of lockpicks, but not a lock picker, if that makes sense. He's just a bit of a snag in that he's sort of expired from life.
Why? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. You're doing very well, Ben. But I do have to ask, why is it that no matter if your characters are like evil or like heroic, in this case like a hero, do they all sound like somebody that you meet at 11 o'clock in a bar?
Well, these are the people I know.
All right.
Okay, so Bobby senses, can Bobby's mage hand go up that far to reach him?
Yeah. Your mage hand, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so my mage hand taps him on the shoulder and goes,
Oh, that's a neat trick. Hey, look, before we do that, let's just get a couple of things straight. I'll get you guys unchained. You get me unchained. We're all happy, right?
yeah, I'll do you
Yeah,
first.
That's very sweet of you.
So I'll roll.
So you're gonna use it. Make for me a.
So he's going to mage hand my chains first, is what he
Oh,
said.
well, you can't do it. No, that's would be very difficult because you can't see.
You can't see the lock.
You
I'm
can
pretty
try-
good.
Yeah. Okay. With disadvantage.
So you're doing with your
make
mage
for me a DC 15 Thieves Tool check.
Did
14 plus, what, like Dex?
No, Thieves Tools. Yes, if it's
Oh, Thieves
14
Tools.
was your base roll.
Yeah.
Snap, click, and the rusty chains
Great.
fall to the ground.
That is very, very good.
Wait, was that with disadvantage?
Yeah.
All right.
But you're still holding the lock, the picking key.
Yeah.
It is
I'm gonna,
mage hand.
I'm gonna bring it back down to
Yeah.
our level
Okay, great.
and start. Should I roll for everyone to unlock us or?
You just
Oh,
roll forward.
should
yeah.
we? All right.
Just keep rolling until you've unlocked 3 of them and tell me
Oh,
if you roll
that's
a
a
1.
1.
You rolled. Sorry, did you roll a 1 for the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you've unlocked his chains and you pull your locks, the lockpicks down, and feeling a little bit cocky, you start doing them very quickly on your own chain. And then suddenly you realize that the tension wrench in the lockpicks has caught it, and before you can do anything, it snaps back and one of the tumblers cracks like a gunshot, and the wrench jams inside the lockpick. And at that moment, you see this. You hear a noise in the smoke, and a sort of guttural, abyssal voice shouting to somebody else, and then a figure starts stalking towards you quickly.
And you hear from Bracken, good noise, bad noise. Good noise, bad noise. What was that?
Bad noise?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
take
think bad.
bad for 500.
Through the filthy, toxic smoke parts, and you see a figure of a giant. It looks like a giant man, but it has chains with barbaric hooks wrapped around him, across his chest. The hooks, in some places, even gouging into his own skin, around his wrists, and wound so tightly around his clean, shaven, bald face that you can't see the lower half of his face. And he looks at you, Bobby, and looks at you and he says, "In the name of the local matriarch, what are you doing?"
I tripped on my manacles and I fell forward on my manacles. I hurt myself quite badly, if you must know. So excuse me if I made a little bit of noise.
Make for me a deception check. DC 14.
Yeah, that makes it.
All right. He looks at you again and he says, "You make too much noise, little man. We will soon be at the Citadel. I do not want to hear from you again." And he stalks back out and the mist slowly closes again.
Someone
You are-
didn't have their brekkie.
But you are able to unlock these chains. You're eventually able to unjam the
Okay.
lockpick, and now you're all unchained.
Okay, great.
Hey, that was some really quick thinking. Great job, mate. Hey, look, as you may have seen, there are some guards about. we're meant to be prisoners, so being out of here is a bit of a no-no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
they like it when the prisoners stay in the cell.
Huh.
That tends to be their kind of policy. It's unwritten, but it's pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So we've just got to be a little bit careful.
So what's this
Yeah, what's your
citadel?
plan, Bracken?
Look, I kind of feel like I can trust you guys.
Oh, we're very trustworthy.
Yeah, we're good at that.
Do you have
You
any
got a
idea
secret?
where you are?
Sideways hole is my first
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Okay, so Bracken like slinks out of his tube, jumps down with surprising grace. Well, let's see actually. That's a 6.
Okay, you didn't have to roll, but you've rolled. So he rolls, he falls down and immediately grabs his ankle and calls out in pain. And suddenly, the motion of him jumping down actually pushes the mist apart. And for a second, you get a sense of the space you're in. It's about the size of a train carriage. There are, not just on the back wall, but these honeycomb cells line all along walls of the area, and stalking down the corridor as a sort of warden is this huge chained figure.
Same guy from before?
Same guy from before, but next to him is a much smaller fiend, kind of bloated and corpulent with a big belly, and a series of a series of emerald gemstones in a pattern down one shoulder, and with big rolls of leather in a kind of makeshift kilt with a huge jangling keychain at his belt. And he's sort of barking orders to this demon who's checking on all of the prisoners.
You there! There was another noise. Go look at the other noise.
Oh, how far away is this little fiend guy?
They're both at the end of the corridor, so they're, I would say, maybe 20 feet away from you. This is a big carriage, but at that moment, yeah, you're not going to be able to deceive this because obviously now you're unchained and he's on the ground. So I'll give you all time quickly to make an action if you want, and then he's going to arrive.
Okay, I'm gonna hide.
Yep. I'm going to put my hands behind my back as if I'm chained.
Okay. You're going to hide.
Yeah.
Make for me a stealth check. Tell me what you roll.
That's an 18.
18.
So stealth.
I'm going to sit on Bracken to hide him from the guards.
You're going to sit on Bracken to hide him from the guards.
yeah.
Just unchained in the cell.
Well, I'll put my hands behind my back as well.
You're going to do that as well.
Yeah, but I'm going to hide Bracken.
Okay. Then with advantage, Bracken, do you want to quickly make for me a stealth check?
Yeah,
And do you want to, Eden, make for me quickly a deception check?
Deception. Prepare to be deceived, fiend.
Just tell me what you get.
8.
Oh, do I have to do a deception?
No, it was with advantage because you were helping.
No, deception.
Yeah, make for me a deception.
So we don't have any of our weapons, presumably?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. All right. This time, the shorter demon comes by himself, while the other one stands to his side, and he comes and he looks at you, and you see him looking at the politely smiling Baston, with his hands behind his back, the politely smiling Filge, and an empty pair of manacles beside him, and he looks at you and checks a manifest on a filthy clipboard. It says, "Wasn't there supposed to be 3 in this cell?"
I punch him in the face.
All right, we go into combat. I've got your initiatives here. Eden,
Yep.
this is a surprise round for you, so you can attack first.
How many? I've got. I'm a monk, of course, so I can do unarmed strikes real good.
This is true.
I think I get 3 because I'm a fighter and I get an extra thing. So
I'll give you using flurry.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat the crap out
Show
of this
me.
guy. Just tip him in the face. Oh, that's a 20.
20.
Oh,
Yeah, very nice.
And what's
wouldn't let
his,
me
what's
bring
his
a real
armor
air
class?
horn.
Oh, I got one too. Wah, 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 wah.
There's a streaming pod there.
Wah.
There's a streaming pod there. You can't bring air
Wah, wah.
horns.
What's his armor class, Dave?
13.
3 hits.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
3 hits, so I do 4. Yeah, I do 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay, that's not enough to kill him yet. But Bobby, you can go next. And
And
you're hidden, so your attack could be a sneak attack.
okay.
Sneaky.
Knife. Is there anything around in the chains or things like those?
Because you've released yourself, there is this huge weighted length of about 5 feet of chain with manacles all along it
Yeah.
on the ground.
Is that heavy for a halfling? Or?
Very heavy for a halfling, so maybe not so much for you. Other than that, there is some pipes on the wall that are very rusted and brackish water in the bottom of the pipe. But other than that, here inside the pipe, there's nothing else.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna do some pipe clobbering.
Okay, so you're going to try and pull a pipe off the wall,
Oh, it's still attached to the
but
wall?
they're heavily rusted.
Okay.
Okay, DC
Give it a
12
go.
strength check.
I believe in you, Bobby.
12 strength check. Which is
Yeah, use that guy.
No one.
That's a D.
No,
that's
that's a
That's a
D12.
D12.
Use the D20.
We've been doing
Oh,
this
right,
for 3
sorry.
years.
No, you
No,
don't
I don't
get
do
it.
that.
Okay, Bobby
Okay.
starts pulling at it and it's weakening, but it's still there. And we
Okay.
go next to Filge.
Phil's just going to pick up one of the chains or the manacle
It's
on
all
it.
one line, yep.
Yeah, and I'm going to swing it towards the jailer and try and wrap it around his...
You're going to use it to grapple. Excellent. All right, make for me a strength with proficiency, actually. So yeah, just add 6.
Yep, so that's 19.
19, all right, that's enough.
And I get 2 attacks, Dave, because I finally read my sheet, my
you
character
did? Well, that's
sheet.
because you were nervous because you had to play
Yes,
with Jeremy Crawford.
because I had to play with Jeremy Crawford, so I read my character sheet. It turns out I can always attack twice.
Yes, it does.
But I was too scared to do it yesterday. All right, let's go again. Do I have to say another action?
This is not an attack. You're making a grapple. So Filge lunges forward with the chains, and she swings them at the this corpulent devil. And the chains wrap around on some of his keys and some of the chains that he has in his belt, and he becomes entangled in them. And as Filge jumps out of the half pipe, he gets chained down on the ground, and he's lying prone with the weight of Filge behind him, restrained by the chains. And the next one is him.
Well, does Bracken have a turn? Because now Filge is not on him anymore.
This is true. So yeah, I guess I'll let you go. I didn't give you initiative. I'll let you go now.
I strangle him to death.
Oh, that's a...
Okay, with advantage, make for me
With
quickly.
the old handy
Strangulation
wandy?
check.
Just with the old handy wandies.
Yeah, wow.
That's with advantage. 20!
Yay!
Hey, level up dice, roll 20 every time.
You wrap your fingers around his neck, and as the life leaves his body...
Okay, great. He starts to suffocate, and he's sort of screaming in pain, and he takes another 14 points of damage. He's very close to death now as Bracken is just wailing into him.
Yeah, there's something that's like snapped in Bracken, it seems.
Yeah,
What's he doing? Is he like
he is a wild
really
man.
calm or screaming?
There's nothing behind his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's been thinking about
yeah.
doing this for quite a while.
That's scarier than the screamy ones. The
Yeah.
quiet ones are always like...
Yeah.
Okay, the boss demon, the little fat one, suddenly pulls and tries to pull himself out from Filge, but is not successful. Brockspit, for that is his name, is still on the ground as the chained devil that works for him sees you and roars running towards you. This big guy, and he slashes at you, Baston, identifying you as a threat.
I wanna spend...
Oh yeah?
I want to spend a key point to take a dodge action as a bonus action.
Oh, okay, very good.
Oh, did I just drop some D&D in here?
You're just
I
trying to
think I
impress
did,
everybody
yeah.
because you're at the event.
Wait.
All right, great. So he does a multi-attack with his chains. The first one would hit, but make your dodge.
Oh, yeah, I have to roll the dodge? Yep, I do it, I
All right.
assume.
And well, let that
I
pass.
rolled a 14. No,
Yeah,
it's
great, all
16,
right.
it's fine.
And then the second one misses. He then starts, so he misses and misses at you until he's standing over, looming at you, and then he suddenly starts drawing a pattern in the air with his other hand,
Yeah.
and other chains that are lining the carriage start to shiver in the air. The whole room starts to rattle stronger as other chains begin pulling at the walls, and the next one is you. Again, it's your turn, Baston.
Yep, I'm gonna attack him with my attacks. What's his armor class?
It is 16. Oh, the small one or the big one?
The big guy.
16.
2 hits, doing 8 damage.
Okay, great. So 8 damage. Yep.
Yeah, I do. I give him a jab and then an elbow. I'm just warming him up.
All right.
I mean, like, your hairs. You did a good job shaving.
Bobby.
I'm going to dart in while this commotion is happening and take the ring of keys off the smaller guy.
Great. Okay, make for me a sleight of hand check.
That's
Tell me-
a 19
yeah.
plus a million.
You pull the chains and you look at them, and there's so many keys on them, but there's one key in the middle with sort of heavy weight and a sort of shimmering barbed point. Key point? What are we calling them?
Teeth?
Tail.
Teeth.
It's a key tail.
Tail.
Teeth.
A tail.
The teeth of the key.
Teeth are a type of
Teeth.
tail. And you realize that is the master key.
Put it in your bum.
My bum, you say?
Yeah,
Do I still have an action to say, put something in my bum?
That was your action. You can move now.
Okay. Well,
And he
I'll-
didn't
but-
notice as well.
Don't do it if it's in your bum. It'll.
you can move yourself to where the key is and put it in your bum.
So I've got the keys, and I'll sort of dart.
Make a perception check for me as well, DC 12.
You realize a bum's not a good place for a key.
That's a 3.
That's a 3?
Yeah.
Put the key in your bum.
I'm sorry, the dice don't lie. Okay, Filch.
Hang on, does he really?
No.
Jokes.
Oh,
No,
come on.
you
Come on,
you don't
Dave.
see anything at that moment.
It's very pointy.
So is the little guy passed out?
He's
dead.
he's about to pass out.
Okay, great. Forget him. I'm gonna.
He's also imprisoned in the chains. You could get off him, and he still couldn't get up.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just go up and I'm gonna poke the big fella in the eyes
Okay, you're just going to attack him?
Yep.
With your fists?
with my fingers.
All right, great. Make an attack for me. 2 attacks, as you said.
Yes, sirree. That's an 8 and a 19.
All right, 8 and a 19. Only the second one will hit.
What do I do for finger poking eyes out?
It is a D4 plus W strength. All right. So 10.
Plus 10. Yep.
Okay, you're getting the sense that this guy is quite strong, and he's sort of, you poke at his eyes, and one of them actually gets into his eye, and he doesn't even flinch. He just sort of stares you down. He's this big, intimidating.
Like as my fingers are in
Yeah,
his
through your
eye, he's
finger, yeah.
staring
it's
me
a
down.
real power
That's
play.
pretty metal.
Yeah, wow.
It's
Credit where credit's due.
Brecken, you're still strangling him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Finally the life goes out of him,
Yeah.
and he passes out.
Does he have any weapons on him?
Yeah, he does. He has 2 wickedly carved knives.
I take both of them
Okay.
and I throw them at old mate.
All right, great. Why don't you quickly roll for me a attack with your dexterity?
I think we decided his dex was what?
It's plus 2.
So that's a 13?
13, so you rolled an 11? Yeah, okay, so that's 13, 15, yeah. Clangs to the side, and it misses him. And he doesn't even look at you, he's still staring down. Filge, Baston.
Oh yeah, I'm getting back in. I'm beating this guy up, specifically in his face. Oh, it's another 20. Always
Roll 20 every time. That does suggest, by the way, that these dice are badly weighted.
Yeah.
I just want to say on behalf of our sponsors that nothing could be further from the truth.
12 damage to his face.
All right, very nice.
Yep.
That was the 20?
Yeah, there was a 20, so that was double, and I hit with another one.
Okay, he roars back in pain. He notices that,
Yeah.
and as you pummel into his face, and he loses his concentration, and all of the chains that were snaking around go limp, and the room becomes sort of emptier for a second. And at that moment, you can see, because the smoke clears from that motion for the first time, that all the chains and the honeycombed pipes all around the room, the chains loop through the pipes to a master deadbolt in the center of the carriage that is locked with a huge lock. And Bobby, you're up next.
All right, so I'm going to make my way up there, and so I'll make a dash up there and try that.
Yep, okay, if
With
you're
a
going to run
huge lock.
past him, he's going to get an attack of opportunity.
But I can run through somebody twice my size, being a halfling, so
Great, so you dart
Large.
through,
Yep.
and you make it to the lock, and you unlock it. And as you unlock it, the chains slip, and they all go relaxed.
Now, I don't know if you can hear this on the screen.
I can. It's through me just then. Do you want to describe what's happening?
If you can, there's some jaunty ukulele music happening, which, in some ways,
In many D&D scenes, it would be very appropriate.
yeah. And in this one, I want you to imagine that it's not happening.
The chains all go slack, and they collapse through the backs of all of the pipes, through holes in the backs of the pipes, and all the prisoners' chains are released as they fall to the ground.
Freedom!
And you hear like some pretty half-hearted responses of
Yeah.
freedom.
Oh, just,
This is not an army that is ready to fight as
These-
much as it is.
These people are pretty friggin' sleepy.
And I yell out, "All hail Bobby the Emancipator!"
yeah.
And again, you hear like,
Bobby!
what?
He got the big
All-
key, he
all-
let you out!
What's
all
emancipate?
hail Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie!
Who's Robbie?
the
me.
Emancipator!
He's a constipated? What?
Did you get in jail for not knowing words?
Yes.
So it's your action. So if you want to, you can try and like rally them, or you can keep
I'm
wailing.
gonna do that. I can hit what?
You can try to rally them if you want, or you can keep
Yeah,
wailing on the
inspiring,
guy.
Filch.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch the guy in the face and then stand on his shoulders and he can be to show everyone that we have defeated the jailer.
Oh, okay, right.
So you are banking on having broken his will by punching him in the face. Is
Okay.
that- all right.
I'll do a big punch.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 big punches.
Yes. That's a 3.
Okay, that misses.
I pat him on the nose.
Thanks.
And a 19.
19.
you go.
19. You find the nose just above the sort of pile of chains, and there's a sickening crack as you break it.
Can I say congrats on finding the nose?
usually the center of the face,
Yeah,
but you'll
yeah.
sometimes be quite
Not
surprised.
always. Not always. the
Filge,
center.
with big meaty hands, you pull him down. He's already so bewildered because of Eden's attack before, and he falls down to his knees, and you clamber onto his shoulders. Was that?
Yeah.
So it's a big. You're as big as he is.
I know, so I'm very tall, so all the prisoners can see
Well,
me.
if you climb him, he's not going to stand still and
But you
brace
can sneak
you.
into a very
hold-
big movie.
Yeah,
Hold
can
him
I,
up.
can I give can I give Filge a hand like a dainty lady?
Well, you
needs?
should just try telling him to stand up, see if he does.
Stand up. Keep standing or I'll punch him more.
It's an intimidation check, right?
I think he's on his knees and falling down. But as I said, you're clambering to the top of him, and everybody can see you.
Great, well, as long as everyone can see, that's the effect.
And now what are you trying to do?
Prisoners of the Circle, tonight we ride in hell with your friends, Bobby the Emancipator. What? This is good.
No, you keep going.
Bobby the Emancipator, holder of the key. Baston.
The-
Baston, what you want your cool name to
The fister.
Keep going.
be? Baston the Fister. Filge the Punchinator. And hey, Bracken, what you want to be?
Well,
You want to be part of this?
yeah, sure. I mean, do you want?
Bracken, that weird guy who does strangle.
Strangler.
All right, everyone, let's marshal. Everyone come to our cell and we'll do a head count.
All right. So most of the prisoners, a lot of them are dead. A lot of them are so malnourished that they can't get down. But probably about 12 to 15 wasteland survivors in rags, none of them with weapons, clamber down. Some of them with martial training, and they look up towards you. And
One of them says, "Do you want to hear something funny? I'm Spartacus. That's actually my name." And so it's like, I mean,
And Phil goes, that always work as an opener for you, or?
it sometimes does. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I've been captured a lot.
and Bracken looks at you and he says, "This is a start, but we have a long way to go." And he finds a rusted portal in the side of the carriage, and he pulls at it with all of his strength and snaps it open, and through its grimy surface, he beckons all of you together.
Okay. I'd just like to point out one or two things to you, and then you go to the porthole, and
Yeah.
this is what you see.
Oh, this is me?
Yeah.
All right.
Are we looking through the window?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Bracken brings you forward, and at first you can't see very much at all, but then as your eyes adjust to the harsh light outside, you realize that the rumbling that you're feeling is the powerful locomotion of this carriage, but it is not powered by its own source. You can see snaking in front of it another giant carriage, another, and then finally a huge, colossal, infernal war machine on a mixture of treads and wheels with a belching furnace at the back of it, screaming down a canyon with these carriages lashed to the back of it at high speed, surrounded on all sides by what look like two-legged and four-legged, two-wheeled and four-wheeled contraptions of war that actually, the Dragon Friends have been to Cyber Tokyo. They look like dune buggies and motorbikes.
Yeah, right,
and
yeah.
there are devils on the backs of all of them, and they're all riding, screaming, some of them playing drums as they go racing down this ravine at high speed.
So some of you will know this, some of you may not. We are on a war rig. We're in the back carriage of a war rig. This particular one is run by the Mistress Locomotive. No.
You can do this, you can do this. The Locomatriarch.
Locomatriarch.
Yep.
Run by the Locomatriarch.
And it's not a war rig,
Come
which is
on,
a property
come on.
from the It's not a war rig, which is a
you
property.
heard-
That's me.
You've heard her battle cry.
Yeah. That is playing constantly the whole time we've been in jail.
Driving everyone.
Sorry, it's not a war
I was
rig.
gonna say, it's not a war rig, which is a property owned by Max Miller & Co.
Sure.
It is a war grinder, which is wholly different for
Yeah.
trademarking
Legally
purposes.
Sometimes when you're in a war, finding male companionship can be difficult, so War Grinder is
There are other sponsors, War Grinder.
Yeah, and if you imagine like two ballistas, a huge, colossal medieval tank, part train, and a school bus, and you mash them all together, put a bulldozer claws at the front of it, and then just for good measure, flamethrowers on the side and a giant wrecking ball swinging. That's what the
Yeah.
front one looks like. The rest of them are essentially carriages, and as I said, they're chained, lashed and roped together with crisscrossed with tiny ladders and other means of hopping from one vessel to the other as they're pulled along in its wake.
So are we like going around, you know when a train goes around a turn and you can see all the carriages in front of you? How far back down the train are we?
You're in...
Because we're on a train. No, we're on a train. Are we on a train?
Yeah,
A war
essentially.
train?
You're in the
There
fourth...
are no rails.
Okay, right. Yeah, a land
road train.
A road train.
There's-
No roads
yeah.
either. Just
You're
the
an
desert.
off-road train.
Okay, right.
You're in the fourth carriage. You can see another 2 carriages between you, and then the engine carriage right at the front.
And
And
yeah.
do the other two look like also prisoner carriages, like our one, or do they look different?
They bristle with spikes and exhausts, and sparks fly off the wheels. It's hard to tell. Some of them have weaponry on the outside, but they are all different shapes. They've all been created by mad engineers with different designs in their heads.
And are there people on the outside of the carriages?
Some of them bristle with what looks like tiny figures,
Okay.
holding on to ropes or lashed, belted to the side of it, playing drums, trumpets, or even just holding crossbows and scanning the horizon on the side of the ravine as it hurtles through.
And can I get Bracken at this point lets you take it all in, and then like asks you to face him and goes, "There's something else I have to tell you." And he gives a big dramatic pause, and he says,
Does he say big dramatic pause?
he does, and then he's like, I'm very tired. Did I say that out loud? Did I say big dramatic
Did
pause out
say
loud?
it
Yeah, you
out loud,
said it
but
out loud.
didn't undermine it in any way.
Okay, great. I'm
And your momentum hasn't been ruined at all.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
Not at
fantastic.
all.
I was worried about my momentum.
Yep.
It has continued
Sure.
at a steady pace,
Yep.
my friend.
I am no regular prisoner. I am no regular slave. I am, in fact, a member.
The way you say
That was great there because you did
Okay,
give
again,
a pause
I've-
instead of
I've-
saying
I
it.
really,
It's good.
Yep.
again though, I was getting to saying what I was.
Big dramatic pause.
Yep, I'm a member.
I'm on the edge of my seat, by the way. This
Okay,
is great.
Yeah.
again,
I cannot wait to hear what
Yep.
you're going to say.
I'm a member of the Fremantle
doing really good, man.
Resistance.
Fremantle resistance.
And you get the sense that he thought you would get a bigger reaction.
So that's kind of a big deal, or?
oh,
Okay, now
oh
was
yeah,
that-
we know them, right?
Now, was that because I stuck the landing with the delivery, or do you guys honestly not know what that is?
Oh, we know. They're the big resistance out in Fremantle.
Yeah.
The main group, you would say. That's what I think. of
Okay,
the
because
man.
that is true, but that also, the way you said that, it sounded like you were kind of guessing, and from context clues, I kind of feel like
You've
you
all
could-
been traveling for a while, so can you all make for me just an intelligence check, DC 12?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 10.
All right, great. So, everyone except Baston has heard of a colony, a small collection of sort of tents and shacks somewhere in the desert that is called Fremantle. And this is a place where it is rumored there is a portal that leads back to the Forgotten Realms and your homelands. A lot of people talk about it almost like it's a nursery rhyme in the wasteland. Everybody says that they heard that it's just over the next dune, beyond the horizon. You constantly hear stories that the portal is about to fail or failed 3 months ago and that all hope is lost. But it is a enduring myth in the desert.
Yeah, right. So, Bracken, that portal, is that up and running? If not,
The portal is currently powered, and it's about to be powered a lot more because, my friends, we're going to steal this rig.
Yeah, we are. That was my plan all along, too.
Now look,
I'm a secret agent for them.
okay, look, you're with the Resistance too?
Yes,
What are you playing here, Eden?
I'm just making a play.
Because you don't know what he's
You know,
talking about.
When in doubt,
Yeah.
if you don't have a play, make one.
Make a
Just
deception
Make
check.
a play.
Make a
Yeah,
deception
yeah. Secret agent. 5. That's a hot 5. But my charisma, I got +2, so 7.
I think Bracken's like,
Bracken's a bit crazed at this point.
yeah.
Actually, Bracken looks at you and he goes, "You're Golden Spark? You're the one they call Golden Spark?"
I wish I. Oh no.
What happened?
His mic fell off.
I think.
Big dramatic
Okay,
pause.
his mic fell off, but in world,
Big
he
dramatic
just had
pause.
a big coughing fit.
Yeah.
Big dramatic pause.
So Bracken
just-
looks at you and he goes, "Does that? You're the one they call Golden Spark? You are my contact?"
The spark shines golden in the darkness.
That sounds nice. That sounds good.
You say, but only when the sun shines on it.
But only when the sun shines on it.
Yes, I am golden spark.
Wow. Okay. I thought he'd be in the engine room.
Well, he's not. He's right here. It's me.
Well, I have some terrible. I have some terrible news, Golden Spark.
Oh no.
Larrikin and Lockwood are dead. They're in the tube.
I
they're
always
not.
hated them.
I'm Larrikin and Lockwood.
Okay, they are literally.
Larrikin and Lockwood, that me, yes.
Firstly, Larrikin and Lockwood are two people.
And secondly, I watched them die in a tube with me.
Yeah.
And he pulls up,
Reincarnation.
and he grabs a chain from his tube and he pulls it up, and a desiccated corpse goes up, and then the neck snaps and breaks, the skull falls, and it shatters on the ground.
Hang on, and because you're saying he's pretty crazed?
Yeah.
Are you not saying, though, brothers and sisters, I see that in a way we are all Larrikin?
That's exactly
Yeah,
what
we're
we
like that
meant.
other guy from before.
I'm Spartacus, guys. I thought that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So you've just still been standing there?
Yeah.
While you're talking, by the way, the other, all of the other prisoners that are still up and about have been helping each other out of their cells. They've been pulling chains and weapons, which are really just, like I said, pipes, manacles, improvised weapons, out of the pipes and off the walls.
Bobby's
and
going around shaking everyone's hands, going, "Hi, Bobby the Emancipator. You can call me the Man for short. That's fine. Hi, Bobby. Yeah, pleased to
And
meet you."
3 of them are working at trying to open a huge rusted vault door that is set into the far end of the carriage.
But the back or towards the front of the...
The front, heading towards the engine.
Can I just say, I'm so glad you did the emancipation thing. The Resistance is all about that. We're very... But hey, look, the sort of plan with Lockwood and Larrikin was to sort of pick our own locks, make our way to the front of the train, get our contact with Golden Spark, and then steal the truck. So it's just, I think it's great that everybody's out, but it is something of a wrinkle. You know what I'm saying?
I say we're moving out of the train. We send these guys first. Collect a little bit of, let's say, damage on the way. I'm going to be realistic. Let's send them in as just like bullet fodder. I
So
don't
like
know.
Bobby the Emancipator, are you sending all of the people that you've liberated
And
to their
also, can I
deaths?
say, this is quite a small room.
And also, I don't know about the acoustics of the situation, but your voice echoes quite loudly.
Spartacus is like, I'm disappointed.
Never meet your heroes. There's a snap, and the vault door opens, and it falls on its hinges, and it collapses. And you can see narrow. There are poles with hooks, and there's ropes and there's chains holding it, but a space of about 10 feet before you can see the back of another one of these infernal grinder carriages.
The Emancipated, listen to me. Make a bridge with your bodies. So roll
Did we
persuasion.
say there
or-
were ladders? Like, is this completely
Yep.
necessary?
Yeah.
Are
Actually,
you just testing his loyalty?
one of the other prisoners looks at you and goes, no, I reckon we'll just use these spiked hooks and ladders if that's
Smart,
okay.
smart.
You have passed the first
Very well
test.
done.
Well done. Well
Oh,
done.
sweet.
You're all lieutenants now.
Oh, that is so great.
Is Spartacus?
Yeah.
All right, so they grab some poles and they lash them and they hold as steady as they can with a few of the stronger ones of them using these poles to try and drag the chains together and bring these carriages that keep rocking apart from each other as close as possible, but they can only hold them about 8 to 10 feet away from each other, so it's a decent jump.
Dave,
or climb.
I would like to take a quick second to make some makeshift weapons. Can we have a weapon making montage?
Yeah, how does that work?
You like sing some music like do.
Gonna make
Dun,
some weapons.
dun,
Yeah, okay.
Gonna
Long
fight
Alright.
and lovely, the government.
Oh, that one's good too.
No, I like the other one. I like Ben's one.
Okay, gonna make some weapons,
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
find some things,
All right.
gonna lash them together with bits of string. They're
Yeah,
gonna
okay,
make
I get-
some weapons,
Yep.
gonna
I
blood
get a
them some
pipe.
guys.
I get a rusty pipe, and I get attached like a chain on each end of the pipe. And is there like some chains with manacle on the end? So
Yep.
it goes manacle chain.
There's spiked
pipe.
chains on the wall as well.
You
that are used
gotta
to-
make
Yeah, we
some
use the
weapons,
spike
it's a
chain.
deadly craft.
Can I do a quick arcana check on the key?
Yeah,
That's a 18 plus 3.
great.
Anyway.
It's
draw
a
my weapon.
magical skeleton key. It has been made by these mad engineers that built the war grinder, and it will open any lock in the war grinder.
Nice.
Unless it is, there may be a few really important ones, but
Okay.
generally it's to allow those guys access everywhere.
Dave, Baston's makeshift weapons, he's decided on the look of the season is chains.
Yeah, okay.
Chains, and more chains.
Yep.
He's going to wrap his fists in chains, wrap his arms in chains, wrap his body in chains, till he's pretty much like a kid on Halloween dressed up as a mummy, but with chains.
with chain
yeah, but
mummy.
with chains instead of toilet paper.
Is that going to restrict Baston's movement?
It's certainly.
considerably?
Certainly.
No, but not around my body. Obviously, you do an arm.
In my mind, you look like Houdini.
Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be more of a chafing issue than anything else. But
Yeah, there's a lot of dry sand and hot wind in Avernus,
Can I
but
ask,
yeah.
Does Bracken believe that he's the contact still?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have
chains,
a length of pipe, like a thin length of pipe, or
Yep.
something like this, and I'm going to get the ball rolling. I'm going to use it to vault across the gap.
Make an athletics or acrobatic check. You just got to be
there's a
12.
ladder.
Ooh, what's your plus? You got good stuff.
That's a 7
Acrobatics.
plus acrobatics.
7 is 14.
Yeah, 14.
Great. Bobby nimbly jumps over. He's the first across, and he holds onto the rigging. And you can see from here, it's quite easy to open the door inside, and there's a grimy portal inside, looking into the door.
Okay, is there anyone there currently, like
on
on through the portal?
Not outside. Oh, you're going to look through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not outside, but yeah, you look inside, and you can see what looks like long, thin shelves. There's lanterns swinging wildly. But it's otherwise it looks like a corridor with compartments all the way along the side.
Okay, cool. And are there windows in the compartments?
You can't see that.
Okay,
They're
all
just
right.
sort of.
Cool.
It's all made of wood.
Baston jumps.
Great. Make DC
Says,
12.
watch this, Spartacus. Also, everyone else who is around.
Spartacus is like, oh, he wants me to watch. It's
Yeah.
pretty. Oh, okay. Everybody. Yeah. That's fine.
18.
Great. You make it across.
I jump across too with my new weapon.
Do you have a name for your weapon?
Yes, I do.
That makes it with your athletics, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, you drew a picture.
I did. It's called the. What was the name of the guard we killed?
The name
It was
of the
it
it
was
was Brock Spit Goonbag.
Yeah, Brock
Brockspit.
Spit Goonbag.
It's called the Regret of Brockspit.
The Regret of Brock Spit.
Yes.
All right, very nice.
Come on, everyone, follow me, Sparkle Fist.
Make another deception check.
That's what I remember him saying. Yeah, go on.
Don't say yeah. What's the number?
11.
All right. You start to think something's up.
All right.
Sparkle Fist is a good name.
Bracken
I'm keeping that.
clambers in through
Yeah.
too, and behind him the slaves start coming in. Bobby,
So
do you-
they're coming?
They are, but they're going to take longer because you guys were captured recently. You're still quite fit. You're quite hydrated.
I
The
am
rest
quite
of them
fit.
are
Thank
taking their
you.
time.
Yep.
Great.
So Bobby, the door's locked, but
Yeah.
as I said, you're standing there at the portal.
And
Okay.
Phil yells out, "Come on, everyone! We're going on a secret mission to steal a war machine.
God.
So
you got to keep the slaves. No, we were
You
not
gotta
calling
keep- you
the
gotta keep
emancipated.
The emancipated, yeah, right.
so I am going to cast Disguise Self
Yeah.
as that little fat dude.
Oh, great. Okay.
And
I'm going to pretend to be in chains,
yeah.
Yep.
but I am in literal chains.
So I'm gonna carry him behind me.
Yep.
Hold with the length
Oh,
of
so you've
chain.
taken your clothes off and like the chain devil, you've wrapped yourself in.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So just as a kind of a recce to go in, I'm going to open the door with try the skeleton key.
Works.
And slowly make my way in and just sort of what do I see as soon as the first compartment got in it?
So as you walk through, you see that, as I said, this is a long carriage with compartments, and all along the walls of this compartment you see weapons that have been laid out. There's rows and rows of lightning javelins, which are kind of harpoons that are used by some of these buggies. There's rows and rows of sort of old rusted swords and spears. And there is also, you can hear hammering inside some of them, and you realize that there are smiths inside some of the latter compartments that are repairing and rebuilding weaponry.
and
Show
do
you
they
about
look,
this
are they
for the
are they
weapons.
chained up? Are they prisoners or are
No,
they?
they're not.
Okay.
And they're dwarves. There's two of these smiths. They're dwarves, but they look like bad news.
Okay. Well, I'm going to grab a lightning, trading my rusted pipe for a lightning spear, lightning javelin.
It's essentially a javelin.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to try and walk past them, like nonchalantly, like I got business on the other side.
All right.
And I'm walking behind like I'm a prisoner.
Okay, so you make for me just a charisma check.
That's
You need to
18
be
plus
He flashes them the
3.
smile.
Yeah, that's a
Do
21.
they close the door?
No, the door's swinging wildly open behind you.
I would say that somebody's holding it.
Who's someone? There's only two
So
of you.
Phil, can you just what? We come through the door.
Nobody's come through yet except you.
Yeah, and so Phil's just going to hold the door almost shut so that it's kind of doesn't look like it's just flapping.
Brock
over it.
Spit, we are born in a tent.
That's the voice of one of the two engine sears.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you were.
Yeah, I was. As a tent man, I find that really insulting, as a matter of fact.
Close the door.
All right. And I go back and I'm like, motion for Filch to sort of hold it in place but not lock it back up completely.
Let me also say, if you've lost another prisoner, the local matriarch's going to go nuts.
Yeah, I found a new prisoner. So
Oh, you found one.
yeah,
We're driving
Now-
at
now
over
you
100
suddenly-
miles an hour. Where'd you find
As
one?
you say that, the other smith takes an interest as well, and they both look up at you. And they're holding squat, heavy hammers at their anvils, and there are swords all around them, but they are otherwise unarmed.
yeah. I said, I know I'm like a
Except for
little.
the hammers.
Yeah, I know I'm a little guy, but I love sports. So I've been doing a bit of like game fishing. I get up onto the roof, and anybody in the vicinity, just like javelin them, pull them back in. It's like it's.
Yes, he
I call it
caught
fishing.
me, Sparkle Fist, the most famous secret agent known to man.
Yeah, this
All
is a
the
real.
seven hells.
This is a real trophy, and I think the.
You better watch out. I'm dangerous. Dangerous.
This guy's got information in his brain that will be so delicious.
One of the smithmasters looks and says, but he hasn't been manacled and branded yet.
I've got him under a spell.
No, it's okay. We could do that now for you if you'd like.
I got him under a magic spell.
No.
It's cool.
Rules are rules. The local matriarch will go mental if we don't brand him. How
and
close?
one of them pulls out a giant, like a huge collar.
How
With-
close are the two dwarves together?
They're in opposite compartments along this narrow corridor.
So it would be difficult for me to kick them at the same time in a splits.
you would have to do.
Well, aren't you bound in chains too?
No, I've just got them. I'm just.
Oh, okay,
I'm just
okay.
Are
pretending.
we
I'm just-
branded? We're not already branded, obviously.
You haven't checked your bodies for brands.
Can I check my body while I'm listening at the
Pepsi,
door?
which is weird. And you have level up dice. Roll 20 some of the time.
Okay. So you all look and you notice and you spot something that you hadn't spotted before, which is sort of halfway up from your palm to your elbows. You all bear a mark, and the mark is of a screaming woman's face with goggles.
Wait, is this a tattoo?
It's a brand.
Someone has ruined my beautiful flesh.
no.
I am furious. I just go like, ah! Just like start just
Control
pummeling.
your prisoner.
Hey,
Were you attacking? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pummeling,
okay.
dude.
Okay.
I'm pummeling hard. Which one's closer to an oven? Because I want to pummel him into an
There,
oven.
no, one of the rooms is a forge room. So yeah, there's a huge crucible full of hot lead. The other one is doing finishing work on a bench.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pummel. I'm using my open hand technique. What's their armor class?
Just 12.
Yep.
They're not armored.
I hit, and then I'm going to make a. They need to make a dex saving throw.
Yep.
So I'm doing flurry of blows,
Yep, it fails.
and they get pushed 15 feet.
All right. So one of them, Smithmaster Rit, gets pushed back and slams against a wall, cracking the crucible and the delivery system for the hot lead that they're using to repair these javelins. And they scream in pain as molten lead cascades over their shoulders as they burn and scald. You can smell the acrid smell of burning flesh. And as they try to pull themselves back, it's already cooling, and they're locked in the wall, screaming in pain.
Very cool.
Very, very metal.
I turned to Sebastian. I'm like, dude, come on.
I didn't. This is.
Yeah, we all.
I
got
was
them.
beautiful.
While you're doing that, the other Smithmaster grabs another of the two hammers and launches himself at you, Bobby.
Oh,
Oh, actually, no, wait,
Why
no,
would he
you're,
do
why would he
that?
do
Because
that?
you just turned to Baston and went, dude!
yeah,
Yeah, actually, that's something that's encouraged. Like, that's one of the guys. He's an important guy. He's one of the Smiths.
All right, great.
Sparkle
He attacks you, Bobby, as I said, and he
Oh.
hits you
Oh.
for.
No.
Oh, okay.
Can I
He hits you for 16 damage.
Can I do
Oh.
a canny dodge? Uncanny dodge?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. What do I do for that? Roller.
Just make.
That's a 15.
Okay, give as your reaction.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you just managed to dodge the blow.
Yep.
Baston, you've already moved. Phil,
Yep.
you're at the door, and you're next.
Yes. No, don't worry. I'm gonna race in and I'm furious that he's just hurt my
Why
friend.
are you angry? Oh,
because he's just smashed up Bobby.
So you're going to go into a rage.
With a hammer.
I am going to go into a rage, and I'm going to wield my regret of Brock spit, and I'm going to twirl it around my
so
head.
racing past shelves of functional weaponry.
Can I grab one on the way?
I'll let you grab one on the way.
All right, so I'm twirling regret, and I grab one of the big Smith's hammers,
Okay, cool.
Twirling regret is like poetry.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
Twirling regret.
And I'm going to kind of do a 1-2 blow with my rage. So I'm going to whack at the guy with the manacle, like in his face. Sorry, do it at your face, and then I follow it up with a hammer to the also face.
Make 2 attacks.
To the also face?
Yeah.
A hammer to the also face.
2 attacks beat
Remember
AC
when I was doing
12.
poetry before?
It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to sound beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh wait, fuck! I wrote it down so I could do this without
Well, this is
fucking
gone
around, and
flawless.
then here we
roll the
are.
dice.
You just roll them
Yes,
and add 7.
yeah, that's a 20
Okay,
Yeah.
and a 13.
All right, so the 20 was the 13, or did you roll a 20?
No, I rolled a 13 and I
Yep,
added.
cool.
my
Okay,
thing.
so one of them hits 2d6 plus 4.
Yep. I remember this. That's a 1, and that's a 2. So I did a
Absolutely nothing on the
7
quality
damage.
of these dice.
7 points of damage, and and he falls back screaming in pain. Baston, you're up again.
I'm wailing on him again. I'm going down. I'm getting the elbows in. I'm like,
Wait, the one that's on the wall.
no, the one who's still alive, who Phil is attacking. 2 hits, so that's 8 damage.
All right, 8 damage. Okay, he's looking bloody now. He's quite hurt. Bobby, you're next.
I'm just gonna lance him
With
up
your-
through the neck.
Excellent. All right, make an
Ooh.
attack for me. Plus 6, I think.
That's 15. That's
That's a
hits.
D12 again, is it?
Yep. What?
No, it's a
Oh,
D20.
yep.
D20.
That hits. All right,
Yep.
it does a bonus 2d6 lightning damage.
Yahtzee.
So it's a d6,
I'm gonna get one
That's
of
a
these.
4
which becomes 8,
4.
and a 1.
and in the normal damage as well.
What does it do? A D8?
D6.
D6. So that 11 plus your strength.
1. A negative 1.
Okay, 11.
All right, 11. That's enough. The tip of the javelin explodes in shards of lightning, but he collapses to the ground dead.
Yeah. Take that.
Sparkle fist.
And Phil's just like, Bobby, hell has made you kind of crazy.
Well, hell does that to a man.
You're still disguised as Goonbag, right?
Yes.
And Bracken just comes in and he's like, well, thank you very much for taking care of that. That was good.
Dave, can I investigate to see if our equipment is around in here?
Yeah, great. Why don't you just, you've got to beat,
I get a
15.
it's 3. It's a 3.
yeah, you can't find it now, but like I said, there are swords, there's spears. You found a warhammer that is essentially a heavy maul. There's more javelins. Every time you use those javelins, the tips explode, just so you know.
Okay.
That's very
And
cool.
then,
How many goes?
then
of
you have a very nice
explosions?
quarterstaff.
All right.
Oh, you got to use a new one each
Yep.
time.
Yeah, I'll grab 2 of those. I'm wielding them. I'm like flipping
Very
them around
nice.
in my arms.
2 quarter stuffs.
So what else? Was there also a sword?
Yeah, there's some swords. if anyone
Yeah, I'm gonna
wants
take a
sword.
long sword.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
Bracken, what are you getting?
I'll just get a sword and 2 daggers if there are any.
Yeah, you can take 2 daggers as well. You've got 2 daggers.
No, I threw them at that guy and didn't pick them up.
All right, cool.
Because I was like, those daggers
Honest.
are unlucky.
Can I dip regret into the lead to make it more strong?
Yeah, all right. I'll tell you. Yes, you
'Cause I'm a
can.
smith.
Yep. Yeah. All right. You heat up regret.
Something that's never come up ever over.
I know,
4
but
years.
here we are.
You heat up.
Guys, there's all sorts of things on these sheets.
You heat up regret in the abyssal lead even before it cools, and it does for the next 10 minutes. It's going to add d6 fire damage to its damage.
Oh.
The compartments are otherwise, as I said, full mostly of weapons. There are also firing ports out the side, and there's looks to be like giant repeater machines that you can load these javelins into. So this is also a sort of gun ship.
Are the emancipated filtering into the carriage?
Spartacus gets in. He's
Yeah.
the first one through.
Like, grab a weapon, my man.
Here we go! Oh, you guys did. I was so ready though. I was so.
Next
You
time,
actually you get the
Spartacus.
sense that Spartacus waited until everyone was dead.
Let me at him!
Oh, well, we don't want to hear. You open the next door. We don't want you to miss out on
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of the
you
action.
go, you go,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
yeah. We insist.
No, but
We
that's
insist.
so nice of you.
And I push a hand in the back all the way up to the front, and I unlock the door and push him through.
Just without checking anything. He still looks
So
like
you open the door and push him through?
Yeah.
All right, great. You unlock the door, and the next, it's even further away, the next carriage, 15 feet of rope slung between it, and empty space underneath. So Spartacus is like, no, please, I don't. Oh, God! Goes over the side, and you all feel a big boom as the carriage goes over the first of the
Well,
sled.
let's never talk about that ever again.
At that point, the second of the emancipated comes through and is like, Where's Spartacus?
We're all Spartacus in a way. So here we are. Onward. Let's go. Be careful. There's a bit of a gap there.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap, everyone. Come on. Safety first.
I'm Spartacus, you're Sparkle Fist.
Yeah, I am Sparkle Fist. That is who I am. Okay, so can we kind of pull it closer together? Are there ladders here again?
Some of the other liberated prisoners have got those poles, and again, they're using them to sort of pull. They can pull the carriages to about 10 feet away. It's as close as they can get them, and hold them steady. But it takes a few of them to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone can have a free weapon. That's on us. That's a gift from the Emancipated to you.
All right. So is it?
Should we do another dex check to get across?
Now?
Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always
Okay.
DC 12.
Sparkle Fist, go!
Ooh, Bobby
I'm
has
good.
an issue.
What did Bobby roll?
9.
So you rolled a 2?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So again, you all jump over, and Bobby, you're just about to jump over when your foot catches on the lip of the door and you plunge down below. The others don't notice, however, and they all jump onto the other side. And now make for me a dex saving throw. Just gotta
That's
beat 10.
9. Yeah, makes.
All right. At the last minute, you were able to grab onto webbing at the bottom of the carriage, but you are now separated from the rest as they get through, and you try to shout out to them, but they don't notice.
Okay.
And as they go on through, and so you're now clinging to the underside of the carriage with Dementors and Devil Ride motorbikes whipping past you at speed.
Right. Now, they don't have the key to get through. I have the key.
This is.
So they're all...
However, this door is luckily unlocked.
Oh, okay. Convenient.
So you guys all make your way inside, and
I think I would want to check to see that Bobby was there.
yeah. So it's at the moment you're all inside as the prisoners are starting to. You guys notice that Bobby isn't there.
What's in this room?
So as you go through,
Yeah.
this room is kind of done a bit like an old-timey saloon. There's a bar, there's some chairs, there's what looks like a folding screen. It looks really out of place, not just on this train, but in Avernus. It actually looks a bit decadent, and you can hear clinking just beyond the Chinese sort of patterned screen.
Cool.
Can I just a question? The webbing, does that go all the way under the carriage?
Yes, it does.
So
what happened to Spartacus?
Just while this is happening,
No, it was Spartacus failed
bounced
his
out.
dexterity saving throw and wasn't able to grab onto the webbing.
so Bobby's going to try to go all the way to the other end and come and open the other door at the other end of the carriage.
It's going to take you a while to do that,
Okay.
so I'm going to keep coming back to
Yep.
you.
I'm going to go out the back and check for Bobby. I'm like, Bobby! So walk back out.
You look and you can't see anything. All of the other prisoners are there. They're trying to look through, and at that moment, 2 of the buggies start driving alongside. They pull up alongside, and one of the other prisoners makes a signal to you and slams the door shut so that they can't be seen.
But am I still out there?
But if you don't move soon, you risk being seen by the other devils that are riding up
Cool.
alongside.
Then I'll quickly duck inside.
And you couldn't see Bobby anywhere.
Yeah. And I go, Baston. I think Bobby didn't make it.
Well, I'm sure he's fine. Or or dead. Either way. I'm pissed off they fucking branded me. Oh, excuse me, my language. I'm really angry, though. Well, did you look hard?
I had a quick look.
Or did you do what you normally do and just look around and you're not
maybe
really
I
looking?
did a filge look, but I had a lot of I had to hurry. There was 2 buggies.
Well,
Maybe I'll just.
Might take this point to remind you that you have the message, spell is an arcane trickster, which means that you can communicate with these guys.
let me reach out with my mind.
Not you.
Okay, I'm going to reach out with my mind.
As I climb through, as I'm climbing along, I reach out into Filge and Baston's brain and be like, guys, I'm okay. I'm going to try and get in on the other side. So if there's any danger, try and distract them. I'll come from behind.
And Phil yells out, okay,
Yells out?
that sounds very cool.
The clinking stops behind the screen, and a voice calls out,
Excuse me?
Yes.
What's very cool?
Oh, Bobby's plan?
What was... Who is this?
And a figure steps out from the side of the screen. And this figure is another devil, but unlike the other one, he's the other's the chained one. And this figure is a sort of tall, muscular devil, and in place of a beard, he has these kind of writhing, barbed snakes that come off his
Yes,
chin.
please.
And
No?
he's dressed in a kind of silken suit.
What do we have? What is this? What do I need to pull my little guard button? My little guard rope here? Pull it and the guards come.
And there's a silken rope and
Oh!
by the door.
Oh!
Bobby's plan is the name of the cocktail me wanted to order.
Okay, we're going to stop for a second. We're going to stop. While you make your cocktail orders, we're going to cut to you, Bobby. So you're pulling yourself along the webbing, trying not to fall, because as you know, you'll die instantly if you lose your grip.
Yep.
The javelins are on your back, making everything harder because you have sort of these clunky, awkward things strapped to you.
Yep.
And at that moment, as I said, two of these buggies zoom past and you flatten yourself against the webbing, trying not to be seen, presumably?
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right, so make for me a stealth check. And tell me if you beat 15.
I do.
Okay. You realize you're going to have to stay still because they're driving alongside, whooping and hollowing as they go. But you're not going to be able to move.
And are they, so they're within sight of me?
They're so close you could almost touch them. They're
Okay.
like 5 feet away.
I use Mage Hand to go onto one of the handlebars of one of the motorcycles and just like turn it really quickly so that it like buckles and flips over.
All right, cool. You're going to have to use your mage hand to wrench it out of his hand. So do you want to make me maybe, should we say acrobatics?
Yeah, sure. That's a 17 plus 7.
Okay, you wrench it, and one of the dune buggies, which is a type of infernal war machine called a tormentor, smashes against the side of the other one, and it flips, and it flips on its end, crashing into a motorbike, and they smash into the side of the ravine. Rather than being dismayed, you hear cackles of joy and cheers from all of the devils riding alongside them, and a huge devil on another one of these buggies yells out, "The Screaming Way claims another. The children of the loco matriarch ride on," and they all cheer.
You know, the more I hear about these devils, the less I like them.
Now inside, there is suddenly a huge rocking motion.
Oh, hello!
The screen collapses to the side, and this bearded devil just grabs onto his desk to try and keep his way. And as the screen collapses, you see as his desk is knocked by the blast, these flat metal discs spill everywhere onto the ground. And they were neatly. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, so you make one, and he lunges to stop you, but he's not there. He's not quick enough because they're all over the ground. And you pick up one of these discs. Make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom.
20!
No problem.
Roll 20 some of the time.
When it's appropriate.
When it's statistically
Roll 20.
appropriate.
Sometimes
120
roll a
is a
one,
good
we're
time.
discovering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear whispering coming from the coin, promising you riches, freedom, if you will just do what it says, betray your friends. It suggests to you, even if you take the grinder, that you could rule these wastes, that you would be rewarded by Zariel, the Lord of Avernus, and that you could rise to the top to become one of her most trusted pit fiends. It's incredibly beguiling, but you are able to resist it. You realize, however, that holding it is bad for the soul, and you, without thinking about it, sort of thrust it into a pocket or somewhere on your person. These are soul coins, each of them holding the soul of a damned lost person who has died somewhere in the Forgotten Realms and been washed ashore on the River Styx.
Wow.
Whoa. And she says to Baston, "This is one chatty coin. Nom, 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 nom." Anyway.
Coin Master Tarkin is looking at you shrewdly.
Well, of course, you can have that as a souvenir. That's just one of the many that we have here in the treasury. Let me ask you a quick question. Who are you?
The name Sparkle Fist.
Yeah.
And I punch him in the face.
Okay.
But just as a warning, not like I want to fight him, but just that I want him to know that my name is Sparkle Fist.
Is that how devils I mean, given the reaction to like the crashing of the car outside?
They're heavily into hierarchy. So
So it's like a firm handshake.
this guy's clearly a boss, and he's probably not going to want to be punched. But you're going to punch him?
I roll a 19 and I have improved critical, so I do 8 damage to his face.
Okay, you punch him, and he rears back in pain, and he grabs the cord, and he
No,
tugs on it.
I should have cut that cord.
At that moment, there is the sound of screaming. There's actually these wax statues lining that you hadn't noticed at first of sort of humanoid figures, and all of them burn and begin to drip, and their mouths creak open, and they all scream in horror. And
Yuck.
the door at the back you suddenly hear footsteps racing towards it. We're now in initiative, so we're going to go to you, Filch.
I'm going to grab my regretted Brock spear. Is it still on fire? Can I still do
It is, for
fire?
now it is, yeah.
And I'm gonna swing at the snakes. I'm gonna set his snakes on fire.
Okay, you're gonna
His
attack,
beard
yep.
snakes.
Snake beard.
Just go attack him.
Is it? Yep.
Plus
10. Is it? Yep.
13?
Yep, no, that's 17, so that hits.
Yep.
Great, so it's the 2d6 plus d6 fire damage, so 3d6.
1, 3, 3.
So 7 plus 5, no sorry, plus 3, so it's 10 damage. He rears back in pain and yells out, "Devils, attend me." Next up is you, Bobby.
Where am I? How far have I gotten at this point?
Well, like I said, you're on the side. The buggies are gone now,
Yep.
and you've got a moment to. You're about halfway down the carriage, I would say.
So I'm just gonna keep going, till I get to the other
Okay,
end.
if you want to race to get there, you can.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make, however, for me, another acrobatics or athletics check, whichever's
Alright.
higher, and you are now on the undercarriage, so if you drop, there is nowhere else to grab onto.
Okay. I'm gonna ditch my spears. So will that give me any better luck to
I'll lower the DC, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you just need DC 10.
What's your acrobatics?
Cool. That's a 9.
9 totally. Roll another 2. Roll
a
20
9?
some of the time.
All right, great. So, Bobby, you race, and you grab onto the ropes, swinging like a monkey, grab for a rope that isn't there, and you fall to the ground and are now are lying on the sand as this carriage rushes over you. Now, there's 2 carriages because you've gone through 2 carriages. So quickly make 2 dex saves for me, DC 14 on each of them.
Oh my jeebus.
Yep. Save one and
Yep.
Save the other one.
You just managed to miss the wheels of these 2 engines. You do take damage for the fall, so you take another 13 points of damage.
Okay.
But you survive what would have been instant death, and you are, by luck, unnoticed because you're directly underneath the wheels. The convoy is still so excited about the deaths before. The convoy rides on without you, and you're lost in the sands of Avernus by yourself. I will come back to you.
Okay.
But you are now very stranded. And we move on to Coinmaster Tarkin, who pulls out of his suit jacket what seems to be a sort of small, dainty metal wand. He clicks it once and then whips it out, and it grows into a glaive, a powerful barbed spear.
What?
And he attacks you, Baston, with his glaive.
I don't like it at all.
First is a critical, 25.
Ouch!
Which hits you for, so that's a D8. Goodness. Hits you for 11.
Yeah,
and make a DC 12 check for me.
Okay.
DC 12 Constitution check.
Yeah, easy, man. That didn't even hurt even a little bit.
It stings, and you realize that the blade is poisoned. He
Oh,
then
crap.
attacks again, but he misses.
My attack?
Yeah.
What's his armor class?
His armor class is 13.
Oh, that's a 20. Hiya. And I do 8. Well, I'm back with a longsword, so I do 7 damage with my longsword. Oh wait, no, I do 8 plus. I do 11 damage. Sorry, and then I do another 6, and then I punch him in the face as well because I'm Sparkle Fist, and do another 4.
So how much is that in total?
11, 7, 4, 22 damage.
Okay, so you do a huge amount of damage. He falls backwards over the desk, and these coins fly everywhere. There's probably about 50 of them all up in the air, scattered around in his counting room.
My souls, my beautiful souls!
Next up is Filch.
I want to question him.
Okay.
So I
He's bloodied and quite scared at the moment.
Yeah, so I put my hand over his neck and I say, "What are you doing with these coins?"
Make an intimidation check.
Watch out for snakes.
Yes.
Yeah, I got 13.
Okay, he's cowed enough that he doesn't try to bite you with his beard, and
It's the worst kept secret in the whole of Avernus. The coins, look around you. Look how fast we go. Broom, broom.
The souls.
It powers everything you see.
Good to
And
know.
he goes, it powers everything you see. These war machines are powered by souls. Infernal contracts are powered by souls. All of our machinery, and that which is left is tribute for the Dark Lord, and we send it down to the ladder circles.
Yeah.
And Bracken says, yes, it powers many things.
And then there's something.
Ah,
there's
Bracken, you're here.
No, Bracken.
There's something in Bracken's voice when he says that, which makes it seem like he probably wants to stall move
Yeah,
on.
you rolled the 20 before for investigation, so you have some insight into Bracken, and you realize for the first time, though you did trust him, he's lying about something. Or he's holding something back.
Yes, the souls are, if we hadn't been rescued, our souls would have been converted into coins in the Citadel. It's a horrible business, and yeah, the devils use them for all sorts of just yucky devil business. You know what I mean? Yucko, ducko. Let's
What I'm gonna
one more carriage, guys. Ding dang dong.
I want to test what Bracken feels about these souls coins, and I hold one out to him to see if he reaches to take it.
He does immediately.
Okay, great. So he takes it.
Then I pick up another one and I throw it out the window and see what he does.
He screams like somebody who recognizes the value of what you've thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then can I throw Snakebeard out the window?
To see what he does. Yeah, there's a window in this car.
All right, so pick up Snakebeard and I chuck him out the window.
I had more to say. Yeah, sure. You pick up this accountant and you throw him out the window, and Bracken
Oh, I thought he was a boss.
doesn't
Oh, well.
seem as no, he's more of an accountant.
It's like momentum that gets Bracken because he thinks you're going to throw another coin. Maybe that guy had coins in his pocket. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
scoop up a few of these soul coins. They seem useful.
You are?
Yeah.
All right,
How many
because
can
you
I
rolled a
grab?
20, I'm going to let you. You can grab the ones in this room, but the whispers are compounding, so you can hold them for a little bit, but if you hold them for too long, I'm going to make you make more tests.
All right.
Bobby,
Shut it, coins.
I'm cutting.
One is the loneliest number that you ever know.
You have not yet been alone in Avernus, and loneliness is death in this place. It
die.
is amazing how
Immediately.
quickly the sound of the screaming convoy recedes up into the distance, and you find yourself alone in this ravine.
I think Bobby, his first reaction is to start running, and then he very quickly stops and is like, oh.
Yeah, without vehicles, without water, without food, you will die very, very soon.
Do you know what he does have, though? I don't know how the timing works in this, so I'm asking you. He does have the corpse of an accountant.
Well, actually, yeah, well, I was going to say, so as you wander down, you can see a couple of things. There's the wrecked Tormentor buggy and the motorbike that was sort of alongside it. And you can also see a corpse of a man in a nice suit that you've never met before with a weird snake beard.
So I guess I'd check back and see if any of the vehicles are operational.
The motorbike, the Devil's Ride,
Yeah.
is not as destroyed as the Tormentor. It
Okay.
looks like it might be operational, but it's the fires that in its engines aren't working.
Okay. All right, can I wheel it along, or is it kind of too bulky for me to...
Yeah, you can. So you can wheel it, but without fuel, it looks like you can't start it
I'm
again.
sort of pushing it with my legs, going a little bit at a time.
Yep.
Is he gonna see the soul? What about the soul coin I threw out the window?
Yeah, the accountant there's coins all around him.
So when I get to him, so is it clear? So can I do an investigation check on the bike in terms of kind of work out how it works?
Yeah, absolutely.
Halfling luck.
Halfling luck. Oh yeah,
Rolls
roll a
one some of the time.
That's not gonna do it.
Oh, what's your
It's a
what's your
9?
intelligence?
Oh, 9
12.
plus 12. Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. These coins are. You've also traveled for a while. You might already know this.
Okay.
These are soul coins, and there is a pretty obvious slot between the handlebars of the
Yep.
bike that would fit one of them.
Okay, cool. And there's coins scattered around the corpse of the...
About 4.
Okay. So I use my mage hand to pick them up and put them in a pouch, and one of them...
You're gonna pick
goes
all
into
4
the
of them up?
Yeah, and one of them's going to go into the slot.
Make for me willpower 4 willpower saving throws.
4 willpower saving throws.
One
That's
for
a
every
20.
coin you
20.
want. No, you rolled it. Was that a natural 20?
Yeah,
natural
Okay,
20.
like Phil, you get some temporary immunity.
Okay.
So you scoop up all of the coins, get onto the bike, slot one,
Yep.
and purple flames burst out of the back of it. You can rev it once, and you tear off.
Now, that is true that happens, but it would also be very funny if you put it in and it was like one of those things that a shopping centre that
And Bobby's just stuck there on a ride. Yes, you tear off beside. Okay, so we go back to the room, and Bracken is still slightly surprised that you just threw the accountant out the window.
I like your moxie. I do. Hey, we've got a date with
Actually,
the locomatriarch. So.
He says that as he says that he's actually also starts rifling through the desk and cramming some more of these coins in his pocket, and then he looks through. As he does this, he finds a ledger filled with like notes, meticulous notes about all of these coins, and a piece of paper falls out onto the desk. And on that piece of paper, Bracken, is a symbol that looks like a golden starburst on a small piece of paper, which you recognize as the sign of Golden Spark.
Well, this shouldn't be here.
What'd it say?
Well, it's just his secret sign. He was meant to pass this to me as proof that he was.
Sparkle fist! Ha! Onward! And Baston goes towards the.
And Bracken looks out the window and goes, "Oh my god, it was the coin guy."
That's not
kill
possible.
our agent?
Look, we have questions too, Bracken. I mean, what you want with this war
This
ring
makes
anyway?
so much sense if it was him.
How do we know you are saying who you are? Saying are you? How do we know who you are? You
Yeah,
say
I wanna-
you
You
are.
are.
Eden, are you having a stroke?
I'm fine.
I want to intimidate Bracken. I'm going to shove him against the wall.
Okay, competing tests. You make an intimidation check, and Bracken, you make for me a, we'll say willpower
Yeah,
saving
got
throw.
it.
Oh, but you're going to have to beat 24.
16.
Bracken wilts and spills the
He
beans.
begins by saying, "Look, it's the coin. We just want the coins because we can free the souls."
You want to go on a little window ride with your buddy?
No, it's all. The coins power the portal.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy about it, obviously. In an ideal world, we'd take the coins, we'd free the souls, and it'd be nice. But if you know a better way to power an interdimensional portal that doesn't involve soul coins, then guess what? I'd love to hear it.
Solar. Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
there.
So Bracken explains to you that the portal in Fremantle has, for a long time now, only survived by feeding abyssal coins into the machine, consuming those souls, which is a poison that is eating into this supposed free society in Avernus.
This rig carries not only these live slaves, but 20,000 soul coins. And yes, it would be great to cripple the soul trade, and I'm thrilled that we're doing that, and getting this rig off the land is a net good. However, a lot of why we want this thing is, yes, the soul coins. Okay, you got me.
But would the place where we go to not become hell itself if we were to damn these souls for all eternity?
Shut up!
Yeah, shut up! And I like hold him like he's leaning out the window.
Yep.
Yes, probably!
Why not? We make it good here.
Look around! It's awful here!
Hey, home.
Did you see the pillars of fires? There's a river there, and it's just full of maggots.
You know, Fremantle is amazing. There's greenery. There's an island with quackers on it just off the. Just off
Do
there.
they smile in
Yeah.
the photo?
They've got a
Yeah,
sizzler.
there's a sizzler there.
What? Oh, Sizzler's the happiest place on earth.
Bobby, you're racing on the bike as fast as you can, but it seems like the engines are burning hot, but you're not as far. You're so far behind. You're worried that at the current rate of acceleration, you're not going to make it.
I'm going to pop 2 more coins in.
All right, make for me quickly land or dexterity checks.
That's a 17.
Yep.
Plus 7, so yeah.
Zoom forward, one more coin.
One more
coin
coin,
check.
one more check. That's a 5. That's a 12.
That's still enough with you. Yep, so you race forward, the motorbike gains, you're gaining ground. As the convoy appears behind you, you still are disguised like a devil, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, so no one will suspect anything. You race forward as fast as you can, and now you are you're able to pull up alongside the carriage.
Okay, this is the
And you're
one,
now in message range again.
the one just before the engine. Is that
Yes.
what okay. So I'm gonna leap across onto the carriage.
Oh,
You're gonna
wow.
just leap off.
Yeah. Gonna get all the way up. Put one foot on the front handlebars, like line it up, get really close, hold onto the side, and then just like pop up.
Make for me a dexterity check, DC 20.
Yep, that makes it.
25.
25.
Well, total, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the motorbike flips and falls to the ground, and you manage to grab onto the side,
Yeah.
and you're clinging onto a portal window. And as you do, at
I
that
was, just to be clear, I was going to do it between the carriages.
middle bit.
At the.
oh, you want to go to the back?
Yeah.
Well, no, so the front between the engine and the carriage that
Okay,
those
great.
guys are in.
You
Yeah.
grab onto the webbing between them, and you're standing
Yeah.
between them.
And Baston slams open the door and says, "Sparkle fist!" Bobby, you've made it. and he jumps across to the next carriage.
Okay, so the two of you are across the next carriage, and you're still with Bracken at the wall.
I'm gonna.
Look, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Just there is a little hitch, a little moral problem that yes, we have to keep.
Why? But where this portal go? Why you stay in Fremantle if this portal go back home?
It goes everywhere, and we use it to ferry goods back and forth, power everything in Fremantle. Do you think a Sizzler just runs?
Why don't you just leave Fremantle then?
Because it's nice.
But Forgotten Realms is nice.
It's okay. And look,
You realize that, by the way, that by being able to sell the resources from Avernus back and forth, that certain people, probably including Bracken, have gotten very rich off this trade.
there are things like Ica and other things that you can only get in Avernus that we smuggle out and make, a bit of extra money that we put back into the community at Fremantle.
Hey Bracken, guess what?
What?
Welcome to the Dragon Friends. Psych, you're a prisoner.
Okay.
You have the manacles, I guess, on your weapon.
Yeah, and I manacle him to the regret of Brock spit. And I say, "You're coming with me."
So your weapon is now a pole, followed by manacles, followed by Bracken.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
It's multi-purpose.
Okay,
Is it
so
still on fire?
no, it's very hot.
Okay, do I take some damage?
Spit out.
Ow,
Spit
ow,
out.
ow, 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 ow,
You take 5
All
points
right.
of burning damage.
Let's go meet
Boning
the
damage.
locomotion.
Cannon.
All right, Bobby, this door, I'm afraid to say, there is no portal. You're going to have to go in blind. If you're going to open, it's a huge metal door. Obviously, the hinges look rusted and creaky. You know it's going to make a lot of noise if you open it up.
Okay.
And this carriage, as I said, is the biggest by far, bristling with spikes. There's huge exhaust vents.
And this is the engine, right?
This is the engine.
Yeah, right. Okay. Like,
Is this
guys,
the front?
Yeah.
this is it. We're gonna go in guns blazing. Do you wanna go-
expression
And by
learned
this,
in
this is
Tokyo.
also about the size of 3 of these carriages. It's like a mobile fortress.
We could send Bracken in first.
yeah, you want to dangle him in on the end of your?
Yeah.
Once again, it's a 10-foot jump. So, he's on the end of a pole, though, isn't he? Yeah, I guess you could sort of like a fishing line, just sort of.
Bracken's okay with
I'll
that.
dangle him over and make him knock on the door.
Bracken can do that. He's pretty intimidated. His spirit's been crushed. He's also feeling pretty bad.
So you're going to open the door and tangle and poke Bracken through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the door, you open the door and Bracken, you get hovered through and you find yourself hovering over a kind of gantry looking into what is basically a hangar bay. There's a bunch of motorbikes that are nestled in little sconces in the side. There's more of those engine seer dwarves who are working refueling and repairing motorbikes and buggies. You see some of the devil drivers eating, drinking, and there are giant wooden ramps that are being used, opened and closed, to allow vehicles on to the engine and then back off.
4 minutes.
So a huge hangar bay.
And he shouts all that back, I guess.
Yeah, Sparkle Fist is.
But you're shouting it out. All of the engine seers look up at you, and as do the prisoners.
I have not thought this through.
And I'm gonna just throw everything Bracken through.
Okay, you throw the pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like Bracken, I think this is what happens. Bracken lands on the carriage, looks back at the Dragon Friends, a bit, introspective and chastened after Filge, and goes, "Get to the matriarch. I can buy you some time." And he takes up regret, and he just charges at the engine.
Nice.
That's very heroic, but the weight of the thing is also very heavy. So I need for you quickly, first of all, to make for me a strength DC 18 strength check.
With that, that's a 6 plus.
Okay, so he looks at you and he says that I can buy you some time. The local matriarch is at the head of the engines, and he charges forward, and at that point the end of your weapon is tangled in the webbing, and he snaps back and he falls off the edge of it and falls onto the desert, and there's another big bump as he is crushed under the wheels.
Oh, another speed bump on the way to hell.
As they say, all the time.
In hell.
Is there any way to bypass all these people in the engine room?
Yeah.
Can we climb?
Could
on
we
top?
climb up the outside to get to the cockpit?
They've seen you. They're at the far end of it. As I said, there's motorbikes and there's some buggies between you and them, and there's this gantry. And otherwise, yes, I suppose you could climb the
We
top
could
again.
stay on the outside of the train.
if you want.
Hey,
Build-
Dragos, let's bail.
Screw this.
Let's grab some bikes and get out of here.
Yeah, all right.
You're
There
gonna
ain't nothing for us here.
Yeah, I'm still in the guys of the demon, so I come past and I'm like, guys.
Well, they're racing now. They're running towards you guys.
I'm like, guys, chill.
If you wait now, they'll be able to talk to you, but they're running towards you. You have time to
Let's
get
just
to the
grab some
bike.
Okay, let's just grab some bikes and
Let's
go.
just
How
get
do we,
some
like
bikes.
slide down
We
and
got
like.
soul coins, we got bikes.
Phil's-
Hell is our oyster.
Phil throws a coin into the slot of each of them. You guys each take a bike, and one of the ramps nearby, as it trails listlessly in the sand, you have a second to disembark.
We do it all on one wheel.
Yeah.
we-
We all pop wheelies.
Unnecessary stunt,
Pop
but you're all
wheelies.
going to have to make for me
We all pop
dexterity
wheelies.
DC.
Really?
19, 17.
Yeah, 19, 17.
17.
My God.
Can we get a motorbike montage shot?
Up on one wheel, even though there's two.
And with an ostentatiously unnecessary display of surprising skill at the motorbike, the 3 remaining dragon friends burst off into the desert with a roaring sand in their wake, obscuring them, giving you time into the ravines. For now, Fremantle is without coin. Soon the portal will fail. Perhaps, maybe the last candle of light in this dark and desolate place will be extinguished. But by far the bigger problem is that at that moment, the last of the remaining liberated prisoners start making their way into the hangar to find hordes of devils staring at them, glaives descended, and it seems once again that do not meet your heroes, or if you do, it seems that only woe may betide you in this dark, desolate place called Avernus, that is that final resting place for so many of the damned, but for now is not the resting place of the dragon friends. Thank you!
Yay!
You did not successfully win the adventure. You
Yeah.
escaped, and everybody else died.
So on the plus side, I have a charming new alter ego.
I feel like that's on par. Thank you so much.
I have such a good voice for the matriarch too.
Yeah,
Oh,
they didn't
well.
get there. This is
Hello,
D&D Live.
darlings. It was very good.
Don't forget to watch all the other great streams this weekend. There's all these great games being played all the time. Just for anybody that's interested, although we normally do the podcast, we're starting streaming. So follow our Twitch channel. We're going to start on June 18. We're going to do weekly streams. And in Sydney, that's our big announcement for this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we're
a huge
streamers
thank
now,
you.
baby.
A huge thank you to Level Up Dice.
Roll 20 every time.
Roll 20 every time.
Thanks to
Thanks,
Wizards.
thanks
for having
for having
us.
us.
We love
Thank you so much to
it.
Wizards.
Bye.
Good night.
Tito.
Good day. Hello, it's 7 a.m. Woo!